The purpose, the goal of this video is to try to, share my viewpoint. What we see happening right now with Ripple and XRP is not a pivot away from payments, but an expansion into a full financial system, a global financial system, which is much bigger and vibrant and valuable than simply only a payment system. And quite frankly, it's more interesting, exciting, and probably valuable than only payments. Now, we have some reports up here. We're going to go through it. Good part of this is DeFi, and that's both DeFi for regular individuals like you and myself, and also institutions, which is a whole different animal. Real world assets, tokenization of RWAs, which probably is the biggest of them all. And I think these areas you're going to see rapid and mass adoption, significant, and not just for the XRP Ledger, but quite a few blockchain systems out there. Today we're just going to focus on XRP and the surrounding ecosystem. But this is a movement within crypto, and we've come a long ways from the early days of DeFi, which I think people still think about, some of that kind of gimmicky stuff. It ain't like that at all. We see this report here from Ripple. Institutions are looking to harness the power of DeFi markets. We know this not just by Ripple reports or some, thing they're trying to sell us, but we see it from actions by people like BlackRock and Fidelity, and Coinbase is a publicly traded company, some of the stuff they're doing. There's a lot of real action happening right now, and this is huge. Goes on to say the XRP Ledger is uniquely positioned to serve as a foundation for institutional DeFi. I think we have a lot of competitive advantages that will lead to massive success. Ripple's vision and roadmap for institutional DeFi and the XRP Ledger is fundamental components of a successful, and this is the key part, financial system. That includes payments, yeah, but it's much bigger than that. Issuance, value transfer, exchange, and credit. So being able to trade value, send value, issue value, and issue credit. And of course, everything that goes along with that. This is a full financial system they are building out here. Current and forthcoming innovations at the protocol level. That's also quite different. Most other things, they just say, here's a smart contract blockchain. You build out what you want. With the XRP Ledger, it's foundational. It's caked into that protocol. It makes it more difficult to rapidly roll out these systems, but once they're there, they're a lot more secure, in my opinion, and actually probably more scalable and efficient too. Why would we want to do this on the XRP Ledger, not Ethereum or one of the other leaders? Well, XRP Ledger, of course, is battle tested like Ethereum and some of the blockchains that have been around. Reliable tokenization and movement of value for over a decade, 2.8 billion transactions processed, and $1 trillion in value moved. Now, I'll tell you this. Think about this. Yeah, we've moved $1 trillion in value. What happens when you have $1 trillion, $2 trillion, or $5 trillion locked on chain? That's a whole different animal. That's going to lead to, in my opinion, a lot more growth as well. Currently, right now, we're sitting at about 5 million active XRP wallets. Is that a big number, a small number? I think what it tells us is with people out there, the number of individuals that are going to be onboarded to the blockchain, we have a lot of room for growth. XRP remains as robust as ever. Its ability to handle transactions swiftly and at low costs. Again, a big competitive advantage. We're not bogged down by complicated smart contracts. You need that functionality, of course. Let other people do that. That will be their strengths. Our strength is fast and cheap transactions. And security features built into the core protocol layer to ensure that transaction and data, that's so important, remain secure. A critical requirement for institutional adoption. You have to know it. You have to look at every system on this protocol and say, yeah, that's secure, and we know it because we've, looked at the base layer. And it's the same for everyone. And then we have built-in support for DeFi activities without the inherent risks associated with smart contracts. So it's not to say smart contracts are bad. You need them in the modern era. But for what we're trying to do, I think not having them and having this ability, these functions, these feature sets built into the base layer will be a competitive advantage for us long term. I've been talking about this, the XRP Ledger today, and where we are going is nothing like the XRP Ledger of the past. And just looking what's going on right now, of course, AMMs are live. Everyone's freaking out because they're not heavily used. There's some more building to go on here before it makes sense to really use AMMs in a big way. We don't even have a significant, and that's the key word, a significant stablecoin. You need stablecoins to fuel all of this. Ripple will be the first mover here. I think there'll be more. AMMs will be used over time. Decentralized identifiers, DIDs, we'll go over it. On-chain oracles, that's another thing. You need to be able to take data from the real world and feed it on-chain. Big upgrade there. Multi-purpose tokens. So we're looking for, digital assets that need more information, more data directly on that issuance, things like bonds, concert tickets, things of this nature. Going to be a huge area to move into and one they're preparing for. We see that. And then one that they are talking about, technical design proposal, XRP Ledger native lending protocol. So, any part of a financial system is taking on debt or issuing debt, and that's going to be fundamental here as well. Big building going on, and more to come as well. This is, again, we're past this legal issue. Yeah, how much they're going to have to pay and things like that, that's still ongoing, but the fundamental issues at hand, they have been settled, and now we can go on to building the future, which is what you're seeing here with this roadmap. Getting back to being creative, a leader in this space. A lot more interesting than just taking $1, swapping it for XRP, and then swapping it back to pesos or something like this. This is a whole different ball game. This is real crypto systems. This is the future here. Looking at decentralized identity, DID. These are new types of identifiers and enabling verifiable self-sovereign digital identity. So you control your own identity, not some centralized party. This is very, very important. DIDs are fully controlled by the DID owner and are not dependent on a centralized registry. Just everyone getting hacked left and right. You can't trust your data with anyone. This is vitally important. DIDs are a powerful tool for enhanced identity management within the realm of institutional DeFi and XRP Ledger. How do we do this safely? We can't just have an open willy-nilly protocol here where anyone can be taking loans and lending money, and this is a different animal. Again, this is institutions. You can't just take anyone's money. You can't issue just anyone a loan. What if it's a terrorist? What if it's someone from a sanctioned area? You need to be able to safely identify who they are, but people are going to want to have to trust the system and know that their information is safe, and it's safe because, well, it's with you. DIDs facilitate compliance with Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering regulations. Anything you roll out is going to have to meet those requirements, or you're not going to be able to be regulated and you're not going to be able to scale. It just ain't going to happen. Access control institutions can use DIDs for managing user identity across various DeFi applications. So you can use the same DID to access all sorts of different protocols and use different services. You just need your one identifier there. And ensure that only authorized users can access sensitive services. So you don't want necessarily Vladimir Putin to come up, take a loan, and buy a yacht. They're going to want to be able to access who can actually get in these systems and use their services. And then digital signatures, of course, part of this is being able to sign different agreements and trust the identities there. So that's all part of it as well. DIDs are massive, and they're coming to the XRP Ledger. Oracles, you have to have this for a true DeFi ecosystem. Critical component of any DeFi ecosystem, enabling the integration of real-world data into the blockchain. One of the areas I've been talking about we're missing, not for long. Oracles will enable a wide range of use cases, from price feeds to event data, making them an essential tool for institutional DeFi. What's going to trigger, the seizing of collateral or the issuance of a bond payment or whatever. We need that data coming in there. BAN protocol, it's been a long time since I've thought about BAN, is the primary Oracle provider for both XRP mainnet and its EVM sidechain. Again, they're a competitive Oracle, decentralized Oracle service to link. And BAN protocol's integration will empower the XRP mainnet and EVM sidechain with decentralized Oracle price feeds. So, that's big. Multi-purpose token, the MPT, set to release Q3. Complex token structures that can represent a variety of assets and rights. This is kind of the best of both worlds, as David was talking about in the interview the other day. It's somewhere between your regular crypto asset and your NFT. And of course, on-chain information is the key here. So you have a bond, you need to attach a bunch of terms and information to it. You have a concert ticket that's not only lets you in the gate, but tells what seat you're sitting in, things like that. This is where you look at MPTs. And again, a big part of the future of finance. On-chain metadata, again, is part of this. Being able to point to off-chain sources for additional information you may need, the ability to freeze everyone, and clawbacks. These are very uncrypto-like terms, but we're going to need these for a lot of these institutional use cases as we go forward, and this is coming to the XRP Ledger. And of course, XRP Ledger native lending. I don't need to go over this a whole lot. We understand why you need any financial service lending, and we're going to get it. And again, it's baked in directly to the XRP Ledger. It's not built just on top of some sort of smart contract. We have this report here from Masari. People are saying, oh, they're filling up payments. Payments increased 350% quarter over quarter. We're still seeing growth there. We have AMMs going live. We have the pegged USD stablecoin announced by Ripple. It'll be both on the XRP Ledger and the Ethereum blockchain. I think there's going to be a heck of a lot more cross-pollination between these two blockchains as we go forward. Bridging technology is coming. You have to have that. You couple the XRP Ledger either with a sidechain or the Ethereum blockchain, Polkadot, Cardano, any of the other smart contract blockchains. You can link them up, and they both become immensely more valuable in that type of environment. Ripple 2.0 was released in January, and again, part of that proposed amendments are cross-chain bridging and also DIDs. So with XRP Ledger, again, it's highly capable. Yes, we don't have smart contracts. We can't do as much, as complicated of things as you can do with some of those other layer 1 smart contracts, but we can do a heck of a lot. We're somewhere between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and with all this capability built and caked directly into the base infrastructure here, it's what allows us to do a lot of this DeFi without adding on complications here. They are still looking at possibly introducing some light smart contract capability here with things like hooks, where we have even a little more functionality without harming speed or scalability. We'll see how that plays out. Hopefully we do get that, because it sounds like builders want it. 6 new transaction types coming to the XRP Ledger actually already were introduced. Clawbacks, AMM vote, AMM deposit, AMM create, AMM withdrawal, and AMM bid. A lot more functionalities on the way. So it's coming quickly. Now, people used to argue with me and say, oh, we don't need a new stablecoin. This shows you why we need it. You see the most successful wrapped asset on the XRP Ledger currently is GateHub Ethereum. It's got a market cap of 15 million. You ain't doing nothing with that. The most successful stablecoin right now on the XRP Ledger is GateHub USD. It's got a $4 million market cap. Bitstamp has their own USD stablecoin at $2 million. You have a total liquidity in stablecoins of $6 million globally. That ain't cutting the mustard. That ain't doing what we needed to do. GateHub and Bitstamp have had forever. They can't get traction there. We need someone to step in and do so, and I think Ripple is the exact right one to do it, and I think they're going to draw on your Tethers and your Circles and people like that. You're going to have to do so in order to be competitive. Just my opinion there. Real world assets. To me, this is the biggest of all. We're just going to delve into this a little bit, but real world assets are being explored on the XRP Ledger in several ways, and we're seeing features setting that up, such as clawbacks, which are particularly useful here to allow asset issuers to experiment with moving RWAs on chain while staying compliant. You need control over those assets, of course. You need to be able to take control, to seize, to freeze. We don't like this type of stuff within blockchain, but again, for institutional use cases, you're not going to be compliant if you can't do it. When we're looking at DeFi 3.0, which is really what we see going on right now, we're talking about deploying platforms to run on financial services in a collaborative manner between private blockchains and integrating with public platforms, things like the XRP Ledger, the Ethereum blockchain. You need to leverage those public blockchains, but you need different functionality on your private networks. This is going to be a much more usable and integrated system as we go forward, and that's how we can term DeFi 3.0. when we look at the specific use cases and really needs of institutional DeFi, of course, you have to KYC and AML. Anything you're going to do, you have to do that. You have to have data privacy. You know, if I'm doing a transaction on there, you can't broadcast all my financials to the whole world. It's just not going to work, but it has to be controlled privacy. In other words, you can't transmit all of my information to every Yahoo out there that might be looking at the system. But if a regulator comes, if the SEC comes, and you have to tell them who did that transaction, you need to be able to pull that data. And so that's what we see going on here. And this is kind of an example of how this would look. Hedge funds, crypto lenders, fintech, asset managers, corporate treasuries, market makers, all coming together in a system like this to build this new future that we see happening here. And similar kind of breakdown here, just different use cases: asset management, margin trading, identity, yield farming, all of that. We understand all of that. Now, to me, this is the exciting part. RWAs, the XRP Ledger was the original RWA system here. It is set up for this. It is fine-tuned for this. And we see the title of this article: RWAs surpass DeFi in a tokenized tidal wave approaching. Chainlink co-founder says, listen, RWA tokenization trend has already surpassed DeFi by almost 50%. DeFi total value locked right now stands at 107. RWAs are just getting started, and we're already at 160 billion, so we're outpacing there. Industry experts suggest that RWA tokenization market may scale into the trillions, if not hundreds of trillions of dollars. This is the big one. This is coming quickly. Every institution wants to do this. It's not like payments where there's a lot of friction and they don't want to jump into this. They need RWAs. They want them, and they're going to get them. And RWAs are probably one of the areas where the XRP Ledger can dominate the competition. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.